Alright, and we are back in part 2 on animating the Gecko. I don't know if that's what I'm going to call these videos or not, but, it seems suiting at least. So, we have our reference. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that reference. Nothing happened. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that reference. Another way to duplicate is just right-click, duplicate layer mask. For me, it's Control D. I think the default is Control E. So I'm going to turn off my reference. I'm going to double click on this. This will be walk 01. Duplicate that. This will be damage 01. Duplicate that. Death 01. Duplicate that. Idle 01. And then duplicate one more time. We'll say attack 01. So this will be grouped into a layer called attack. My dogs are annoying. This will be grouped into a layer called idle. This will be grouped into a layer called death. And this will be grouped into a layer called damage. Can you guess what this one will be grouped into a layer called? That is right. Texas. Just kidding. Walk. Okay. So now that we have created everything that we need, we have all of our layers. I guess we can go and start with the attack. So there's two types of animation you can do. Let's say I know this was going to be an 8-frame animation. I'd actually duplicate this and just call this attack 08. And then I would do another one which would be in the middle where his arm was all the way out. I don't like working that way. My brain is set up differently where I actually do what's I think it's called forward animation, where you actually move everything frame by frame. It's just easier for me to do it that way. So I'm going to duplicate attack 1. This will be called attack 2. There we go. And I always put a 0 in front of it because I know it's usually under 10 frames, so one number would be fine. But in the instances I do need to use 2 digits, like I have a 10 or 11 frames, that's why I have O. It's just a way of keeping track of it a little bit easier. So this arm front right here is down. I'm actually going to make it where it extends out, and that's going to be the punch. And then this arm that's already extended is going to be dropped down. So if I take the arm rear, I probably should have done this earlier, but hey, whatever. Actually, I'm going to start with arm front. I'm going to use my transform tool, which is this little box that looks like a portrait. I need to find a point of reference on here. Normally, like right here in the middle of the shoulder is where the joint's at. Actually, it seems like I already got something there. So I'm actually going to move this about 3 clicks forward. I'm going to come down here, click on arm lower, and I'm going to drop this down just a little bit. So when he first throws a punch, he has to build up speed. So this one is 3 clicks, the next one might be 5 clicks, and then 8 clicks or whatever, until I get it where this arm is extended all the way out. For arm rear, I'm going to 1, 2, 3. Oh, whoa, that was way too many. I don't know how many I did. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go to arm lower. I'm going to lock this right about here and bring that up. And his attack is done right there. So I can now duplicate that, call this attack 03. And keep in mind, in a professional environment, you would spend a lot more time on this. I'm just trying to get them done quickly because we have a grade coming up that's going to be due very soon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now he's actually building up speed. I apologize about the dogs in the background. So this will be 1, 2, 3. So I want to keep this arm fairly straight. This lower arm fairly straight. And I think I've already moved the back arm. Did I move the back arm? I can't remember. So that's 1. So that's that. So no, back arm has not moved yet. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So this is going to come right here. And by the way, my point of reference is right here where this neck meets in with the body. So come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll go to arm lower. And just like this arm staying straight, this arm needs to stay straight. So that's 1, 2. Or actually, I guess it doesn't matter how much this one moves. As long as it's not too much and too far obvious out of frame, that's the biggest thing. There we go. That looks good. I'm actually using like this little edge right here to kind of like guide me to see how much I'm moving it. So we will now duplicate that layer. This will be attack 04. We'll come to arm front. And this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm trying not to increase it too much, but I still want to increase it quite a bit. I can go ahead and bring that down there. And the reason why I don't want to increase it too much, because when you start having too much animation, it looks like they're building up speed too fast. So I need to come and do this one, about 20. I think that's 15. Ooh. That should be fine. Then I'll come to arm lower. I'm going to move this up here. Right about there, I think. So you can see how he's building up speed. That's the main thing that we were looking for. Attack 05. So arm front. Now we can basically stop using numbers and we're just going to start really amping it up. Because he should already have all the speed built up at this point. Should. I'm like, he's a Gecko warrior, so, you know, I mean, I don't know too much about Gecko warriors, but I'm pretty sure after the first 3 frames, their punch speed's going to increase dramatically. Just a little bit more. There we go. So that should be his maximum speed right there. And this guy's going to have a lot of frames. He's actually going to look really good. Normally all I've been doing is like 7 frames. This guy's going to have a lot. So arm front, I can come back over here. Like his animation's actually going to look really smooth. Maybe a little too smooth, but that is okay. That just goes for flair. As well I'll do is I'll lie and be like, oh yeah, I worked on this one first, and it took me like 47 hours to do, so I decided the rest of them just to cut them down. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so, right. Cake. I like cake. I like cheesecake. I like chocolate cake. I like carrot cake. Carrot cake's actually my favorite. I could really go for some carrot cake. Carrot cake is awesome. This one time, this carrot cake and I were at a party, and it saved my life. And it was good. I ate the carrot cake that saved my life. Do I feel bad about that? Not really, because I had a full belly. Alright, there we go. So, now that's a little odd. That is fine. Now you're wondering, you mean you got to redo all of that to go backwards? Nope. I'm lazier than that. I'm going to duplicate every single attack until I get to 7. So now I'm at 7. This will be called Attack 08, Attack 09, Attack 10. This is what I was talking about, having the 0 first. Attack 11, Attack 12, and then lastly, Attack 13. So now all I have to do is just start dragging these in their proper order. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. There's 10. There's 11. There are a lot of frames for this attack. That is kind of funny, actually. Alright, so now all I have to do is just start turning all these off. And this is literally how I do it. So I'm going to hit Control S for save. We're already within the Gecko sprite, so I'm going to say attack 01, hit enter, turn that one off, turn this one on. This will be called 2. This one will be called 3. This window right here, make sure it's set to large file. This way it doesn't get super pixelated. Probably going to end up adding like another 100 files to this project. My team's going to be like, how much coffee did he drink? None. Instead I had 3 44-ounce drinks. I just kept emptying out cola cans. Well, you know, coffee doesn't sound half bad right now. I could probably go for some coffee. Actually sounds pretty good. Alright, idle 1. What do we want him to do for his idle? Well, I kind of like the idea of his tail moving. Problem is, his tail is not a separate layer. So, got to scratch out that idea. But we could have him breathe. We could have his head do like this little bob, because these spikes are part of his head layer. We can have his arms moving. Something simple like that. So, his chest is going to be breathing, which means it's going to make his arms and his head move with his body, which means I need to take his, not his body, I need to take the arm, his head, and his other arm. I need to drag it here into the body layer. From here, I need to make sure the arm rear is on the very bottom. And then on the very top should be arm front, and then underneath that will be the head, and then all the body components. So the reason why I'm doing that, because this is idle 1. Okay, so I need to duplicate that, which will be idle 2. Now you might be wondering why I don't just use a reference file. In all actuality, I should. But it's a lot easier to just grab all the frames and slap them into the animator. Like I said before, I'm lazy. I try to think of the easiest possible way I could do something, and that just happens to be it. So like this right here, I've put this on the edge of this anchor point on the edge of a skirt. So all I have to do is just move this out and move this up, which that's actually not going to work in this case because I've already moved everything into that section. So I'm going to Control G. This will be layer 24. This is my body layer. Now I can move that here. I'm just moving that just 2 pixels. That's it. Arm front. This is going to be the same thing. I need to lock this in. 1, 2, 3. Arm lower. 1, 2, 3. Go to arm rear. 1, 2, 3. Arm lower. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Go to head. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. Duplicate. Idle 3. So the body, I actually want to make that drop down. No, this actually needs to come up and back. I probably should have done this in the other, so I'm actually going to make it go up and back one more time. So in idle 2, I need to select the body. 1, 2. There we go. And now I can collapse that. I'll expand this out. Arm front. 1, 2, 3. Arm lower. 1, 2, 3. Arm rear. 1, 2, 3. Arm lower. 1, 2, 3. This is literally my work process, if you're wondering. I can stop counting because now you guys are starting to get the idea of what I am doing. So after this idle, I'm actually going to make one more. And then I'm going to start reversing the animation to have him go back to where he was with his initial starting point. And then right here, which I just realized this, I forgot to animate the body this entire time, layer 24. So that's going to be fun. So I'm actually going to select, now you come down to idle 3. Yeah, idle 3 is where I first started. Wait. Okay, I know his body was done with that on that one. Okay, so yeah, idle 3, his body needs to breathe in. So I need to lock this back on his skirt on the very corner. It's going to go out 1. No, it is not. I just realized I am cutting off his tail. Let me go to image. I need to resize canvas for the width, plus 32, 192. There we go. And now I can do this. And then for this layer 24, I'm going to lock this back down here. 1, 2. There we go. And that is done. So let me see what I have here. So his arm moves, but it doesn't look like his other arm is moving. So I'm going to go to rear arm. So I thought I did that, but apparently not. And I don't remember animating this arm either. His head doesn't even look animated. So I'm going to go ahead and animate it because I'm not so sure if I did now. I'm kind of thinking I probably didn't because all this is still collapsed. And it's actually really important to keep track of that. The reason why, because if you don't, there can actually be a jump in animation. And so if I have, yeah, so I haven't done that on these, so we should be good. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. Idle 05. This will be the last one I do, so I need to move this up. Oh, that was convenient. Arm front is where I will start. 2, 3. Arm lower is where I will go. Go to the head. Go to the layer 24. Lock it to the corner of the skirt. Go out 1. Go to the arm rear. I think right about there should be good. Alright, awesome opossum. Yeah, that is one of my more favorite sayings to say. Okay, so idle 1, 2, 3, 4. This one will be idle 06. Idle 07. Idle 08. So I'm going to move 6 up here, 7 up here. That was bad juju. So 6 up here, 7 up here, 8 up here. Really? Come on. Really? Come on. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to drag this onto the actual layer itself because it is fighting me tooth and nail. So that's 8. So this will be idle 09. It is fighting me today. It hates me. It wants to pea soup. Okay, so this will be idle 01. Idle 02. One more to go. And if you're like, I just want to skip to the end, or I wish you'd hurry up and get to the end so I can see what it looks like, I just don't want to skip, I'll be nice, I'll show you. So for the Gecko, we're going to create a new animation. We're going to create a new folder. This will be called Gecko. So this anim will be called, let's go ahead and do the idle since I just did that one. Let's go into the Gecko. Actually, I need to select all of these. I'm going to go switch this to Sprite, Apply. Hurry up and apply. Oh, I didn't get these. Oh well, things happen. So I'm just going to drop this in. If you watch the Gecko right here, I'm going to set this to 1 second. Play. So that's what it looks like. Now he is a little small. I will admit that. But this is the animation I'm actually really curious about. I want to see what this looks like. So I'm going to create a new clip, and this will be called Attack. We're going to select Attack 1 all the way to Attack 13. Drag that, I'm going to say about 0.4 of a second. Man, that is smooth. That is almost way too smooth. I might actually need to cut some of those animations out. I definitely need to make them attack faster. So I'm going to go out to 0.4. And then probably right about here, I actually want him to punch really quick. There we go. And then these right here will be dragged back. There we go. Gives him that like actual burst right there. Like he's actually hitting something impactfully. Alright. So if at any point I was unsatisfied with the size, which I kind of am, I would actually select all of these, and I think 75 should be good. Let me hit apply. No, I think 60. 50 is probably going to be the number I'm going to have to go for. No, actually I think I'm happy with 60. And I'd actually do the same with this frog. So if I went up here to frog and selected all of his animations, I'd select these. Set that to probably 60 as well, and then hit apply. Let's see what this looks like. Hey, there we go. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I also like his attack. Alright, so let's get back to the animations. Because I'm sure y'all just, now that I'm on death, y'all are just dying to see how that one turns out. Heh, get it? Puns. So this one will be Death 02. And I'm thinking for this guy, what do I want to do? I don't have anyone exploding. And this is literally the last enemy I have to do. So, I know you only saw 3 on the screen. I've already done one of the others, and I've already pulled them off the screen. But I want this guy to explode. So, the way I'm going to do that, arm front, this will be placed right here. I'm going to move that back right about here. I know what I said earlier about not moving a whole lot each frame. This one will be the exception. Why? Because I feel like it. No, I'm just kidding. Because the death animation is actually going to go through fairly quickly. And so I need to make sure that he has, that he doesn't have too many frames that will prevent that from taking place. So for the head, I'm actually going to come in here and I'm going to add a new layer. Go to white because we need to see his teeth. Wrong side. Set this to 1. I need black. There we go. And so I actually want his body to kind of like arc back a little bit. Yeah, I really don't want to do it that way though. So we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. I'm going to collapse these. Both of these are going to be brought right into the body. And then the arm rear will be brought into the body as well on the very bottom. This way I can take the body, click back here on the skirt, and I'm actually going to move it back like this. So now I can take Death 2. This will be Death 3. I thought the dogs were chewing on a cardboard box. My cardboard box with all of my Diet Colas. I was about to go, oh hell no. That's nasty. Why would you do that? Okay, so that arm should be fully animated. So the only things I need to do last for this is just going to be on the lower arm. Shouldn't have to worry about anything else. And this arm's pretty much already straight. I might go ahead and straighten it out just a little bit more. I don't need to straighten it out much more, that's for sure. So you can see he's building up speed, which is good. Which is actually what I really want. There we go. And then right here for his head, I need to clean this up just a little bit more. So I'm actually going to turn off this black layer. And when I say clean up, I don't mean like clean it up, but I need to actually add to it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to white and paint under here. Then I'll go to black. Give the teeth some real definition now. Not just these little straight lines, if you will. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and give one more right here. I can also make the eye close. I'm not going to do that because, well, you know what? Yes, I am. I'm going to make the eye close. But you just said you're not going to do that. I know. So go with the darker color underneath. Go back to black. There we go. So this looks like he is really, really hurting. Death 04. And then the body. The body. The body at the party. Front. Now it's just the lower portion. I'll probably still continue to move this upper part back, just not as much as I was previously. I need to sneeze. Okay, I don't know what that sound was, but I decided to do it anyways. I like the little weird inaudible sounds. So those little sounds that make people go, what was that? And they just question, like they have to re-watch the video several times, continuously asking themselves, what was that? And you know what? You'll never know. Alright, so that's pretty much going to be it. So now is what I want to do is I'm actually going to create a new layer. Screw it, it's already at the top. So right here I'm actually going to create a new layer, and this is going to be a special layer. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to Man, I really need this. I need this like right here. There we go. So the reason why I need these kind of transparent, and I actually need to turn off these. So the reason why I need these kind of transparent is because I selected the wrong one to be transparent. Ah, okay, so no, I did the right ones. Good. So right here, I'm actually going to do this. You might be wondering what I'm doing, and you will see here in just a second. Alright, there we go. It's a Volvo logo, or I'm sorry, the Volkswagen logo. No, it's not. Going to go with a little bit brighter, and now I'm going to start coloring these in. This guy, I'm trying to make him like as spectacular as possible because he is actually one of my more favorite basic enemies. So I'm giving him a little bit more extra detail. I like the frog too. The frog's actually really cool. I think my least favorite would have to be the Anole, as far as like enemies that don't really do much except for look tough. I'd have to say probably the Chompy Plant. So now I can actually come back down here. I can select this. I can bring this back up to 100%. And you guys are probably going to think this is actually a really cool trick here in just a second. So I'm going to turn off, oops, there we go. I'm actually going to turn off Death 04. And I'm going to, let's see, for the body, I'm actually going to come in here. I need to move the body some more. So I'm going to do that real quick. Lock this to a skirt. I'm also going to move them down just a little bit. Get his eye to close completely by just simply doing this. Yeah, you would make me do that, wouldn't you? Alright. There we go. Doesn't look too bad. Looks a little crisp up there, but that should be fine. And so now, I'm going to take the arm front, start moving that again, just a little bit. Arm lower, same thing, move that a bunch. And then for the arm rear, alright, so that should all be good. Now for these layers up here, I'm actually going to duplicate that, or not duplicate it, but I'm actually going to start really expanding on it. So right here, I'm actually going to, I actually need to lower the opacity on these. Okay, that works. So I'm also going to lower the opacity on this one too, so I can make sure I'm actually getting everything. This is kind of an important process, or an important step, if you will. So all I'm doing is just expanding these out now and just going in different directions on where I think they would go. And if you're wondering if I've done this before, nope, this is literally my first time doing this. And if you're wondering if I'm being sarcastic about that, no, I'm actually being serious. This is the first time I've ever created one of these effects where you actually have like something exploding. I do have a mild form of autism, which makes it easier for me to calculate things like this in my head. Lucky you. Not really, it's kind of a curse. So, if it was lucky me, then this... Okay, you know what? That's actually the color I want anyways. So this is the color we're going with. But no, it's kind of a gift and a curse. I don't know how else to describe it. I know I bleeded through on some of that edge, but that's okay. It's okay to bleed through a little, you just don't want something like that. But a little bit, that's fine. Especially because they're only going to see it for like one frame, if they even see it at all. So like that little bit right there and right there, yeah, that's fine. I am not losing sleep over that. That much I can promise you. Alright, so now that we have actually expanded this out, now we need to start actually bulging in the middle, like so. So this is all I am doing. So I'm actually going to come around here. I'm going to go with a darker green for in the middle. Alright, for the rest of this guy, I actually want to lower the alpha. So now this will be Death 05. And we will duplicate that, turn that off. We're going to move his body again. So we will, anyone will see this. That's actually kind of important to keep in mind. I am going to have to fix that here in a little bit, and I'll show you how to. It's super simple. For now, I just want to keep focusing on the rest of this. So his body, I'm going to lower that down even further. I need to expand this out, go to the head. Thinking right there. The rest of it should be fine. So we have his leg front and leg rear. The way I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to merge group, come down here, merge group, come over here, grab my eraser, and just do that. There we go. That's how you do it. So I'm actually going to hold off on this one. I'm going to start working on this one where I'm basically do the same thing. So I'm going to go to merge group, and I will do merge group. Just start fixing that real quick, just so I can get it done and out of the way and not have to worry about it anymore. His hand, oops. His hand coming through like that and getting a little bit darker, I'm okay with this. But his leg, that just looks weird. It's okay if that gets a little darker. I'm still going to kind of fix it though. I was going to set this to 5. There we go. So Death 4, yeah, so he's fully opaque on that one. Come down here. This is leg rear. Fix that real quick. There we go. And for this, I'm going to create a new layer. And this is basically, I'm going to create a rough copy of it, and I'm going to paint very quickly. The biggest difference is now we're going to start having gaps in the middle, and that's actually kind of required, because by the third frame you should have some gaps back in the middle. So we have that little splatter, this, that, the potato. I don't even know what this is. Another potato, I guess. Looks like my face. Give that a little stretching, like it's picked up some speed. Same thing with this one. Alright. We can come back here. Going to turn off these color layers. I'm going to turn that one off as well, and these. And now we need something for in the middle. So I'm just going to create some basic little effects. There we go. And I'm going to add one more right here. Okay, so now I'm going to set this to 3. We'll come to this layer, and now we just start painting in. Another way we could do this, and this is if we didn't have this background layer, we could actually select every one of these and just kind of like fill it in that way. But we do have the background, so that would be a little more difficult. It'd be a little bit more than what I want to deal with. So that's why I'm just doing these by hand. There's more than one way to do this, I promise. I'm doing the way that I am most comfortable with. May not be the most optimized way. I'm sure other people are out there like, dude, you could so much do it like this, and it would save you so much time. It'd be so much less of a headache. If that is the case, I'd like to know what your work through is. I'd like to know like how you prefer to do it. You know, everyone has their own. This is the way I kind of like learned how to do it, just being self-taught. So if you know some secrets out there that I don't, by all means, please inform me, because I'd actually love to hear how some of y'all use the software. And that's if you guys use the software. I'm sure a lot of you are like, dude, just get Photoshop. Well, I'm white and I'm poor and I've been through a lot, so that's not really an option. Mainly just because I'm poor. I can't really justify spending, I think it's like what, $20 a month for a software that I'll even barely use. Now, if I was using it every day, then oh yeah, I would definitely fork over the money. Kind of like Maya. So I use Maya on a regular basis. I don't have the full version, but I do have LT. Long story behind that, kind of saddening, but that's a software that I use on a daily basis. It's what I need. So all I'm doing real quickly is just adding some crazy shade. I come to a darker color. Some of these can be dark. That's fine. Hey, get back over there. Alright, so that looks good. Now I will call this Death of 6. Duplicate that. And by this point, our body should be completely invisible. These shouldn't be shown. The body shouldn't be shown. None of that stuff should be shown. The only thing that should be shown is this glop in the middle. And now we need to... I'm going to actually group this just so I can easily see it and see where I'm working. So I'm going to set this back to 1. I'm going to call this Death of 7. And now we will start doing all the stuff that I need to do. Dagola. And I've already made a mistake. What mistake is that, you might ask? I'm not moving these out far enough. So each frame, these should actually move out because physics is pushing these outwards. I didn't even realize that till just a couple of seconds ago. As you notice, I'm not making them go out at different areas. I'm just kind of like eyeballing it, I guess you would say. I'm actually going to set this to 2. Now, just finished painting these in. My dog is an asshole because she keeps jumping up on my lap when I'm trying to do this. Not a care in the world. Must be nice being a dog. Just jump up on your owner's lap and he just, like, sits there and takes it. I wouldn't know because I'm not a dog. And she's just looking at me like, are you talking to me? No, I'm talking to the other dog. Sorry, you're not important anymore. Okay. So, death is done. This is death 01. Two. 3. 4. Oh, come on. Now it should start disappearing, which actually doesn't look half bad. Let's see how it looks, shall we? And we go back to Gecko. It is Gecko the frog. Wait, what? Oh, come on. So we set all these to 60 earlier, which means I need to set these to 60 as well. And that's not good. Okay, well, they're all still set to 60, so I'm happy. Then after that, it'll just kind of like disappear on the sprite. So this one right here, I'm actually going to duplicate or Control C, V. And there we go. Oh, man, I'm getting tired. Alright, how long is this tutorial? So we have damage, walk, and those are the last two we'll need to create. So I'm already at 50 minutes. I'm going to stop the video here. Part 3, we'll finish up those two, and I'll see y'all there.